Okay, Scallywags, here we are. Going up on King's Pride. It is a windy, fall, rainy day. And I decided to do some investigation. Art was telling me that he had to bring in this manual bilge pump because all of the other batteries and everything are off the boat because the boat's sinking. I'm like, what do you mean it's sinking? And he said, well, I went down in the boat, and down in that deep bilge, there was about 40 inches of water. It was over 3 feet deep. And first of all, we don't know why the bilge is so deep, but that's a whole nother conversation. So we had to figure out where's the water coming from. It was a rainy day. So we had the students put painter's caulk around the windows because we could not buy new window material. And here we are. That's where the galley stove used to be. As soon as I step in the boat, drip, drip, drip. I'm like, well, there's the first one. So probably not going to be the last. And so I get out my blue painter's tape since the crew's not around. It's the weekend. And start marking up where we got to investigate and find leaks. So I just checked all the suspects, hull penetrations and windows, and just kept crawling around looking. Most of them was, pretty reasonable condition. There's a little this and a little that on every old boat. It's 38 years old. Those forward windows on the cabin top were in great shape. I thought they'd be leaking because of the angle, but they were nice and dry. That port light, nice and dry. Oops, this window, not so much. We're going to have to stop that. I just can't have a boat leaking like that for the next 3 or 4 months. So that's the starboard window over there. 3 different leaks. This chain plate, surprisingly, look at it, all those rust colorations, was dry because somebody put some after the fact spooge on it. So that's just making the problem worse. We're going to pull those chain plates. Up in the V berth, first thing I noticed on the floor and up above was the hatch has got a little slow leak. And a leak is a leak. So I think the hatch is going to have to come off and be rebedded. That's not too big of a deal. But here, drip, drip, drip. This is for the inner forestay, which is in a new location. So you can see it's been carved in there. Anchor locker was pretty good. The foot switches were dry. The backing plates were dry. So not too bad. But we'll rebed all that stuff anyways. We're just looking for immediate leaks like this. I'm in the back quarter berth, and all of a sudden there, the light goes on. We had the students remove all those piles of hose. Everything but the cockpit drains. Well, come to find out, this is a deck drain. All of the foredeck and the cabin top run down the sides of the boat and go through a through hull. It doesn't have scuppers, so this water all gets trapped, comes into here, and runs out this 1.5-inch hose. And so, luckily for me, that hose was still laying there. I grabbed the 2 old pieces and was able to put them back in place, and out the transom it goes. So while I was looking in the transom, sure enough, the rudder post is leaking. That needs to be fixed. So good days, bad days. It's a boat, for crying out loud. So I miss these days, sunny and warm, like when we brought King's Pride in. But the weather's supposed to be nice again for another week or so. So we're going to get the crew out and start fixing up some of these leaks and get this boat dried out. As we start putting it back together. We just want to be working in this wet environment. So that's the update. Thanks for watching.